The people may call their next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. People would call Dr. Nguyen to the stand.
Thank you.
May I go to the hallway, Your Honor?
You may. Thank you.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please be seated.
Thank you.
Please state your name for the record. Spell your first and last names.
My name is Thao Nguyen. First name is spelled T as in Tom, H-A-O. Last name is Nguyen, N-G-U-Y-E-N.
Dr. Nguyen, good morning. Let me provide you with some instructions, and these are instructions I give to every witness in every case. The first instruction is to please sit back and relax. The second instruction is to speak in a loud voice so all of us can hear you. The third instruction is to answer a question yes or no, if that's called for, rather than using slang like which can be confusing. And the final instruction is to wait until you hear an entire question before you even start to respond. In this way, we won't have people speaking over each other at the same time. Is all of that acceptable?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Walgren, direct exam.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Nguyen, where are you employed?
I was employed at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA.
Okay. And that's where you're currently employed?
Yes.
And what is your position at UCLA?
I am appointed as a cardiologist, scientist. So 20% of my time, I'm an attending cardiologist in the cardiac critical care service at UCLA, Ronald Reagan Medical Center, and 80% of the time I do research.
Okay. And could you describe for us briefly your educational background that led you to becoming a cardiologist?
Starting from...
Which college?
I went to Case Western Reserve University, finished in 2004. Then I went to the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine for 2 degrees, 2 trainings under the National Institute of Health Medical Scientist Training Program to be trained in a combined MD, PhD program. I got my PhD in 2002. My thesis work was on the structure and function of an ion channel called voltage-gated sodium channel studies in the heart, in the brain.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all
that to us again. It's a little bit to comprehend. Could you repeat the focus?
The focus of my thesis work is on the structure and function of a voltage-gated ion channel called the sodium channel. And this sodium channel is very important in electrical activity in the brain, in the heart, in the muscles.
Okay.
Then I got my, I finished my MD. I went on to do internship and residency at the Johns Hopkins Medical Institutions under the Osler Residency Training Program. I finished in 2007. Then I went to UCLA for 2 fellowships, a cardiology fellowship for 2 years, starting from 2007, and a postdoctoral research fellowship under the UCLA Specialty Training and Advanced Research Program in 2011. And so starting July the 1st, 2011, that was my faculty appointment.
Okay. And you're a medical doctor?
Yes.
Okay. And going back to June 25th, 2009, were you working at UCLA as a medical doctor?
Yes. At that time, I was a cardiology fellow.
Okay. And what were your day-to-day responsibilities, obligations at that time as a cardiology fellow in June 2009?
That time, I was a fellow in the CCU rotation, which is a rotation in the cardiac critical care service.
Okay, and what did that involve?
That involves taking care of patients that are critically ill, that have cardiac issues, but critically ill.
Okay.
And it involves teaching the medical students, the interns, the residents, helping managing the patients in the service. Supervising me was an attending cardiologist, Dr. Daniel Cruz.
Okay. And on June 25th, 2009, were you called into the trauma room or the emergency room regarding the decedent, in this case, Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall how it was that you were called in to go to the trauma room at that time?
I received a page saying that the emergency team would like to request some assistance regarding a VIP patient named Michael Jackson.
Okay. And did you then go down to the trauma room?
I ran down, yes.
And was Dr. Cooper, the attending emergency room doctor, on scene?
Yes.
And when you went down to where Michael Jackson was being treated, did you see somebody who you see in court here today?
Yes. I saw Dr. Murray.
Okay.
Pointing to and identifying the defendant, Dr. Murray.
Thank you, Your Honor. And were you introduced to Dr. Murray, or how did it come to be that you saw him in the room?
Dr. Cooper immediately introduced me to Dr. Murray as she saw me coming into the trauma room.
Okay. And did you approach Dr. Murray at that time and speak with him?
Yes, that was the first thing I did when I came down there.
Okay.
After talking to Dr. Cooper.
And what was your purpose in approaching Dr. Murray and talking to him at that time?
My goal is to assess what was going on. I saw that the code was being run, and just to get a overall assessment of what was going on.
Okay. And were you aware at that time that Dr. Murray had introduced himself as Michael Jackson's personal physician?
Yes, he did.
And did he relay that to you personally as well?
Yes, he introduced himself to me as the private physician for Mr. Jackson.
And did you ask him at that time, ask Dr. Murray, what had happened?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say?
And he said that Mr. Jackson had been very tired. He was preparing for a concert tour in England and had been asking for some medications to help him go to sleep.
Okay. And did you specifically ask Dr. Murray then what he had given Michael Jackson?
I did. He replied 4 milligram Ativan IV, meaning intravenously.
Okay. And Ativan is another name for lorazepam?
Exactly.
And did you follow up, when he told you the 4 milligrams of lorazepam, did you follow up with any other questions?
I asked whether there were other narcotics or sedatives besides Ativan that was given.
Okay. And what, if anything, did Dr. Murray say in response to that question about any other narcotics or sedatives?
Nothing. Nothing else.
Okay, that was his response, that he gave nothing else?
Yeah, in that idea, like no other drugs,
Okay.
none.
But I mean, he answered your question, and his answer was that he had not given any other drugs?
Yes.
Okay. What, if anything, did you ask next?
I asked him what happened next.
Okay.
He replied that after giving the medication, I asked him when was the time that the Ativan was given. He could not remember the time. He said he didn't know. Then I asked him what happened next. He said he left, but when he returned, he saw that the patient was not breathing.
Okay.
I asked him what time was that. He did not know either.
So he told you that he found the patient not breathing, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you asked him at what time that was that he found the patient not breathing, and he wasn't able to tell you?
No, he was not able to tell me. And I asked him from the time that he found that the patient was down, what was the time that EMS or the 911 was called. And he couldn't remember that either. He said he did not have any concept of time. He did not have a watch.
So you asked him to give you the amount of time between the time the patient was given lorazepam to the time he found the patient not breathing.
Yes.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay, and he was not able to answer that question?
He was not able to answer the time or an approximation of the time interval.
Okay. And then you asked him to give an estimate between the time found not breathing and the time that he called, that 911 was called, and he was not able to answer that, correct?
Correct.
Now, in your discussions with Conrad Murray, did he ever mention any other narcotics to you other than the Ativan or the lorazepam?
No, I specifically asked, and his reply was negative.
Okay. And he never mentioned propofol to you?
Absolutely not.
At some point,
Negative, please.
did Dr. Murray ever mention the agent propofol to you?
He did not mention that agent to me.
Okay. Now, at some point, with your involvement in the emergency room, did you, or were you involved with a balloon pump?
Yes. So after receiving the answers from Dr. Murray, I called and discussed the situation with my attending, Dr. Cruz, at the time.
Okay.
And Dr. Cruz came down to the emergency room and met with Dr. Murray. Dr. Murray told him that Dr. Murray found a pulse. Neither Dr. Cruz or I could find a pulse. Given the situation, Dr. Murray did ask me one thing, and he repeated the same request to Dr. Cruz, that we not give up easily and try to save Mr. Michael Jackson's life.
Is that what you were trying to do?
Yes. From the brief conversation with Dr. Murray, I have a couple of concerns. I could see that Dr. Cooper's team had already been running the code. Mr. Jackson was under ventilatory support at the time. But in Dr. Murray's mind, if we call it quit at that time, it would be giving up easily.
And who, let me stop you there for a moment. So who first raised the request for the balloon pump?
Nobody raised the request exactly for the balloon pump. It was just, that's the next thing to do if we have to proceed. Had it been under a better circumstance and